Collective. I drew some cards because I was just called to do a reading on a theme that shows up all the time while we are in these beautiful times of shifts and turns and upside downs and tower moments and whatever comes up in your life. I can see all of this from a bigger perspective as the big shift that we are in right now. And I wanted to know something about how we can achieve freedom and what freedom is about anyways. So what is it that we search for when we look for freedom? And there is a question in there. And the first card I drew was the Spirit Dancer. And the Spirit Dancer is about our self-expression, and it's about freedom. It's about how we show up in this world, how we express ourselves, how it is mirrored back. And the next card that showed up was Indie, and it is about not going for this or that. It's about commitment. And I feel that this is actually the question that I am asking. It is, what is this freedom? What is this choosing ourselves, choosing to trust ourselves? And what does it do? And why aren't we in this place where we can do this all the time? And so I want to take a look at the past and at the present, and I want to take a look at this, how this scene shows up for itself. And there we have the past, and we have the future as well. And this shows us that the past we lived in was the past where you or we weren't allowed to be in this receptive mode, to be tender, to be open-hearted, to be just to be, right? We grew up in a world that has to act. It doesn't have to be, it has to act. And so this is showing us that in the past there was something that showed you that it wasn't the right way to be when you were open to receive, where you relied on others to hold the space for your own upbringing, for the creative process as well. Isn't it the way it is when we are in the place of our youth, right? Isn't it the way that it is that we have an intuition? And that is what the divine feminine comes with as well, right? The divine feminine comes with intuition. And the moment when your intuition came when you grew up and you said something like, oh, I don't want to embrace this aunt. I don't want to be close to this person because it doesn't feel right. Then you became your external validation in a way that someone else told you that this is not the truth, that is not okay, that you feel that way, and that you have to do certain things to belong to the family. And so, and all of our ancestors, all of our family members come up with own themes, right? They show up with their themes. And this is the moment where when we are children, we need this external validation. We need the moment where someone else tells us that we are okay, that we are right. And so in this moment when you did the judgment, and this was a judgment about you in relationship, for example, to the other person, right? That it didn't feel right to share the space with this person because it didn't feel right. And there we have. And in this moment, someone else told you, no, that's not okay if you are like this. This is not okay. So it became this embodiment of yourself, this embodiment of this moment where you decided that this doesn't feel right, became your nightmare. That's how we can see this. And in this moment, you needed to step away from your own body, from your own feelings, from your own judgment, from a healthy judgment that is taking care of your needs. Because you realized when you do this, you are not in this family anymore, but you need the family to survive. So you had to take care of those things that made you reject even people or those things. You had to reject your own judgment, resist yourself, your own intuition, and your ability to choose. You had to take a step back from this and to be more outward directed, to see what other people needed in this moment, what the kind of judgment was that was appropriate for the family, not for you, but for the family. And this led into a moment or into a situation where you had to overlook the red flags. If someone would do something to you, or you felt that this isn't quite right to be so close to this person, you had to let go of the red flag, because it just endangered your being. The external validation is something that we need to know that we exist, that we matter. And when we are children, we don't get that. We get conditioned by this external validation. And by mirroring back to us that the judgment that we made with our intuition, with just our feelings, just our needs, that the judgment that we made, a healthy judgment, to say, no, I don't want to be close to this person, that this wasn't appropriate. This wasn't wanted. And so we abandoned this part of us, abandoned this part of our intuition that told us exactly what we needed. And so there was this stagnation in our own intuition. And our whole life, we try, I deeply believe this, we try to heal ourselves. And life tries to heal ourselves. And life gives us situations where we can learn. And where we can learn to learn from other people, where other people put us in situations where we need to say no. Life puts us in situations that are like nightmares so that we can give again, so that we can get into this place of giving from this place of our intuition where we know that we want to give this. We want to be with this person. We want to experience something. And until we get there, We have to be in this place where we don't know what to decide. This is where indie comes in. Don't know what to commit to. I want to be with this person, but I realize that I am always betrayed. Yes, that's because you didn't follow your judgment that this person wasn't good for you. You, in the beginning of the relationship, and that's always true, you have something you thought about this person. There is a moment when you realize who this person is. Whatever it is, can good or bad or ugly or beautiful. So you know, in the beginning, in the first moment, or in these first moments, you know who this person is. Did you follow through? Did you follow your intuition? Because there was a point when you meet people who mirror back to you that there is toxicity. Of course, there is a learning in this. There is seeing your own toxicity in this. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you are a bad person. No, it means that you are conditioned in a specific way. And when you don't follow through, when your inner voice is telling you that this person isn't good for you, when you don't follow through and you walk away, what we don't, if we are people pleasers, if we want to have external validation, we stay. And then we try to get the external validation from a person that is not fitting for you. And in this moment, you abandon your intuition and your inner child. In this moment, you're not trustworthy for your inner child. And that's important to know, because when we talk about dropping our ego, when we talk about awakening, when we talk about trusting our own intuition, trusting ourselves, then we have to go through the process where we have to see colors again, where we can allow our intuition to show up, and for us to judge in this moment if this person is good for us or they aren't, and to destabilize all of our life in the moment to get to a place where we can be free. And free means free from suffering, means free from the conditioning. We have to unlearn, and there we go. We have to unlearn the things that we learned in our conditioning. And there is this part of us that is sitting in the cellar, that is the inner child that is waiting for us to show up. And not to slay the ego. No, it isn't like this. It is showing up for yourself in your intuition and to see where you are conditioned to be the victim. And that doesn't mean that people didn't victimize you. Of course they did. We experienced trauma. We experienced victimization. Yeah. But there is a part of us that is playing the victim in the moment of betrayal, in the moment of choice of new relationships, in the moment where we realize, oh, this is not what I want. When we cause drama, when we experience our world going upside down. And there is the question, where do you play the victim? Because that is your way to feel and to know that you exist. If you suffer, you are. And that is what we have to overcome in this in our own complexity of our own drama, to overcome this tendency to create drama, to know that we exist. Because freedom is like emptiness. And that is terrifying. The emptiness and the void is terrifying. So this is our conditioning, where we went into a place where we had to do this. I don't want to blame anybody. I don't want to judge anybody, but we have to awaken at one point to our own truth. And that means we were conditioned to mirror back what was mirrored to us, and stepped into our own depression, where we caught ourselves in our own drama, not knowing what to choose because we couldn't see the colors anymore. You cannot see the red flags. If you were conditioned like this, and if you were conditioned in this way, where you had to do things that you didn't want to do, you had to be colorblind, because otherwise you couldn't have survived in this family. And that's the moment where we have to unlearn this colorblindness. We have to unlearn the gaslighting that happened when someone told you that what you are feeling is not okay, that this is not appropriate. So there is a lot of unlearning of this conditioning. And in the first place, it means that you have to acknowledge that there is an emotion, there is an intuition, there is an image that shows up when you are with a person. And then to sit with it for a moment and to allow yourself to judge it in relationship to yourself. We have to judge. And that's something that is really terrifying, that people tell you that you don't have to judge. Of course you have to judge. If you eat an apple, you have to judge if this apple is tasting good or not. That's a judgment. It's your personal judgment, because that's what we do. And to come back and to have the courage to wait for your delivery. Oh, I think we have to do it this way. To wait for your own delivery, to see that there is nothing in this fight about you and your judgment, about you and your intuition and the external world. There is nothing about this that can be won. There is no winner in this whole thing. So to get into this place again where you can give again, and where you can even give to the outer world, you have to come into freedom with the inner world. So it is about you stepping into the freedom of being you, having your own intuition, having your own judgments, and allowing yourself to be that way. Does it feel good? Does it not feel good? Yes or no? Is it a red flag? Is it a green flag? You have to learn to see the colors again, and then to act on it. And it can be, at one point, it can be something that is out of proportion. Of course, it can be, where you say no to everything. That's okay too. Because there's one thing that we have to get again, is our own light, and is our own North Star. It is where our intuition is leading us, because it is the truth. The North Star, our North Star, is telling us the truth about ourselves and about how we are in this world and how we can be successful as well. It's our choice of our key to success. And this is the moment where you show up for yourself. and to learn how to do this, how to see the colors again, how to validate your own intuition. Oh, this doesn't feel good. This looked like this. Allow yourself to judge, because it's needed for your inner child to trust you again. Because that is where we are heading when we are looking for our self-expression, and that's where we came from. From into the self-expression, we have to go through on the one hand, the external world, to see that is not the most important thing is how other people validate your self-expression. It's about you validating your self-expression. It's about you validating yourself, your intuition, and telling yourself when to leave, when to stay, what to eat, what not to eat, and so on, to see, oh, see that's what I ate my whole life, but I didn't like it. I had to do. I had to have the validation of my family. And now the whole, when we look at our experiences, we tend to choose the things that we need to heal as well. So if we tell other people that they are toxic, we are toxic. We are toxic as well, because we are conditioned that way. We are conditioned to choose those people. We are conditioned to trust those people because we are conditioned by our own dysfunctional family. And that's where we have to sit with. That's not just other people being toxic. It's us as well. Because if I cannot see a red flag, and I cannot see and I cannot allow myself to judge that this person isn't for me, I am stepping into the wrong relationship. And then I'm trying to fix this person. Then I'm adding all my toxic things to them. And that's not okay as well. Then we try to be for the person the thing that they need. But we knew it in the beginning that we are not the right thing for them. So to get rid of toxicity in the outer world means you have to get rid of toxicity in the inner world. And that's not about shaming or blaming or guilting or something. It's about awakening to yourself, awakening to your own behavior. That is about your conditioning. And when you want to get into this place where you can trust yourself, where you can trust your inner North Star, you have to follow through. And to follow through means, yes, this person isn't the right thing for me, and I am not the right thing for this person. To ask a question. To ask a question about what is happening here. Why am I choosing this? What is it that keeps me away from my inner knowing that this isn't for me? So what makes it easier to please other people in the outer world instead of trusting and pleasing your inner child? It's easier for us to abandon our inner child than to abandon some people outside, because we are so conditioned about our own judgment. And this is how we can show up for ourselves. That is the Ace of Wands, the Magician, and the Eight of Cups. It is about following through our own spark to create and to believe that we have everything in ourselves to create something magical, that we can create something from nothing. But the one thing we have to do is to walk away from the things that are not for us, the things that are not fulfilling, the things that are not true, the flags that have the wrong color. That's where we have to step in for ourselves and honor our own emotions, honor our uncertainty that comes with this whole process, to be in peace with not knowing in this moment, and to honor our own hurts from the past, honoring this inner child inside of us to create something new for us, where we are, I would always say, like, get over yourself to get into yourself. Get over your condition to get into yourself. And this card is beautiful for this moment, because it is called the language of breath. And it's the language of your breath. It's the language in this moment of truth, when you realize that when someone enters your space, you hold your breath, because if otherwise you would have said something to make them step away. So you hold your breath in this moment because you believe that you have to. That you have to restrict yourself to not say what needs to be said. The language of your breath is showing you where to go. The language of the breath and your own intuition, your own inner knowing, shows you how you want to experience your life and how you want to trust yourself. So I want to say you are on the right path. We are on the right path to decondition ourselves and to step into this experience where we can allow ourselves to grow our own trust in our own intuition. And that's important to know, that this is the right choice in this moment, and to allow ourselves to have compassion with ourselves, to see that this beautiful experience that we are in is made out of our own choices. We have this knowing in this moment, and there are swords stuck in this place, but there is jewelry coming out of it. And so we have to realize that's our choices. That's whatever happens to us in this moment is our choice. And it's the consequence of our former choices. And that's not about being blaming or guilting or doing anything. You are responsible for what you do. That's not what I mean. It's a chance to experience ourselves in this moment, to experience our own, how we show up. What is the choice that we are making? And to always stay heart-centered in our compassion for ourselves and for other people, and to see the bigger picture in all of this. And that's what I mean when I say it's about our choices. It's about us being responsible for ourselves and being responsible for the next step in your life. And that is where this knowledge comes in when we see that this will lead into beautiful outcomes. It's love and luck and right timing is on your side. And you are moving towards something new and something better, something greater. And it's the power of all of us. And that's why this came up in a collective reading. Because we are all in this place where we can see this is our consequence of our choices. Whatever happens in our lives, that is what it is. So we can choose again. It's not a done deal. It's not having everything or nothing. It's not about this, oh, this is now you effed it up and now you are done. That's not what it is. It's the power of us. That's the power of our adventure. And I deeply believe that this moment, whenever it is, whatever it is in your life, and it may be really uncomfortable, it may be really something that is like a tower moment, this is for us. This is giving you the right turnaround to step into yourself and into the beauty of you following your own vision, for your own inner truth, and stepping into the part of you that is just right, that is perfect. And that is what it is inviting us to get into this adventure, to step into this power of our own community, the power of us. That's what this mushrooms are telling us, the power of our community and our collective healing as well. Because when we face these themes of our conditioning, our own depression, because we have to validate ourselves, we have to know that we exist, we want to be validated. And there we are, being in our own breath and in the power of our own breath. Staying there and seeing the bigger picture in all of this, and seeing the beauty in yourself, and seeing the beauty in this moment of healing, where we can step into ourselves and into our North Star to follow our own truth. We are many, and that is important. We are many. And this is the power of community. This is the power of collective healing. If we allow ourselves to heal this trust issue that we have with ourselves, our inner child not trusting us to be reliable, we can learn this. We can learn to be trustworthy for ourselves. We can learn to see the colors again. We can see the red flags so we can say no, because no is a full sentence and yes is too. And this is where the choice comes in, to be reliable, to be free from your own drama. Because you are following through for yourself. And becoming the place of truth and honest judgment for yourself is the one thing that we want to experience in collective healing as well. We want to see that. And I think I want to have one of these as a card to close up. That's our card. Al-Uzza, Star of Venus. I'm not a handful of worthless dust. I am not just an empty shell. I am regal pearl formed in this world. Even a small blessing of light is more powerful than the fears of multitudes. There is no need to fight fear with fear, hate with hate, or anger with anger. You do not have to convince anyone of anything. Connect with the love within your heart, rest there, and become wise. And I can tell you, you cannot make it up. That is so beautiful. Let's trust ourselves. Let's trust this moment of chaos, this moment of destabilizing, to learn to trust ourselves, our intuition, our inner being, for us and for the greater good. Trust that we can help ourselves to be free and to be trustworthy for ourselves. Thank you so much for being here with me and following through all of these things that I had to say. And thank you for listening, and thank you for being part of this journey. We are in this together, and I deeply believe that we are making this a great, great adventure. Thank you so much. And thank you for liking and subscribing and helping this channel to grow. Maybe you think that this is something that you can share with other people, because the more we are, the greater the impact will be. Thank you, and I see you soon.